Hello, and welcome to How to Do Business with Larimer County. This presentation was updated in June of 2025. Let's begin. Some general information about Larimer County. We are located in north central Colorado at the base of the Rocky Mountains. We have approximately 370,000 residents, and we are the seventh most populated county in Colorado. Larimer County is approximately 2,600 square miles, and much of it is considered remote. Government offices are located in Fort Collins, Loveland, and Estes Park. We have 40 different departments here, and while most of our road-related work is done outside of cities, work occurs in both urban and rural areas. Next, we'll discuss the purchasing website. The purchasing website is located at www.larimer.gov/finance/purchasing. I'll read that again, www.larimer.gov/finance/purchasing. Additionally, on your screen, you'll see there's a QR code in the top right corner. If you open your camera app on your phone and point it here, it will display a website that you can select that will bring you to the purchasing website where you'll find links to find our bids and proposals, the published department request for quote, purchase order terms and conditions, as well as insurance requirement information. Next, we'll look at the purchasing thresholds. At Larimer County, when we want to make a purchase, the dollar amount that we expect to spend in 12 months determines what kind of purchase it is and who can or will make it. For purchases between 1 cent and $10,000, these are called micro purchases, and the department or the office with the need makes that purchase. Although departments typically will reach out to multiple vendors to ensure that they're spending their budget wisely, proof of competition at this level is not required. Purchases between $10,000 and 1 cent and $150,000 are called small purchases, and they can also be made by the department. To do so, they need to seek 3 quotes from vendors for these purchases. Purchases above $150,000 are called formal procurements, and they go through the purchasing division, who advertises a solicitation like an invitation to bid or a request for proposal. Next, we'll discuss the differences between a quote, bid, or proposal. A quote, or a department request for quotation, is for the purchase of goods and services between $10,000 and 1 cent and $150,000 in a 12-month period. A bid, or an invitation to bid, is for purchase of goods or services above $150,000 in a 12-month period. These are used for tangible items or for projects with very well-defined scopes of work. All vendors bid on the exact same items and the exact same quantities, and the award or the decision is based on the lowest bid that meets all qualifications. It's important to know that there is no negotiation on pricing allowed. A request for proposal, or an RFP, is also for a purchase of goods or services above $150,000. But in this case, we use these when it's a very complex project where we know what the result will be, but we lack the manpower or the specific skills to perform the job or to scope out the job totally. The decision or the award is not based on the lowest price. Each proposal is evaluated via evaluation criteria that's published in the RFP. An evaluation committee is assembled, and each evaluation committee member individually and independently scores each proposal. High-scoring vendors may be invited for interviews, and price negotiation may take place. Next, we will go over insurance. I get asked a lot if the county requires vendors to have insurance coverage. Insurance is typically required when a vendor is performing a service for the county, when the county is purchasing software, or any time a vendor will come on site onto county property to deliver their product or perform work. Our risk management division sets the insurance requirements. Insurance is the vendor's financial guarantee for their contractual obligations. Insurance helps us validate that the vendor is an independent business per IRS rules. It's important to know that Larimer County does not accept limitations of liability, and by law, Larimer County cannot indemnify vendors because it's against the Colorado State Constitution. Next, we'll break down each type of purchase. For purchases between 1 cent and $10,000, the department or office with the need finds the right vendor and makes the purchase. Vendor insurance may be required, and it must be approved by risk management before work can begin. A contract is not typically necessary unless it's required for insurance purposes or for other reasons. And most often, we typically pay these with a credit card. Purchase of goods or service between $10,000 and 1 cent and $150,000. Again, the department or the office with the need will request 3 quotes from vendors. So they have to reach out to 3 vendors and request a quote. Many of those department requests for quotes are actually advertised publicly on a page called Published Department Requests for Quotes. You can see a little snippet on the right side of your screen there. On the purchasing page, if you click on that, that will take you to the Published Department Requests for Quotes page. It is super easy to view and provide a quote. There's no sign up or login needed to view a department RFQ or submit a quote. You email questions to the contact listed in the DRFQ, and vendors will provide their quote at the bottom of the department RFQ, and they can attach documents. Vendor insurance may be required, and it must be approved before work can begin. For purchase of goods or services above $150,000, the purchasing division performs what we call a formal solicitation, like an invitation to bid or a request for proposal. These are officially advertised on BidNet, although in that link on the right side of your screen, you can click on that. It will take you to a purchasing page that does display the solicitations that are actually advertised right now. However, vendor bids and proposals are only accepted through BidNet. Vendors must sign up for BidNet in order to provide their bid or proposal, and BidNet is free, and we encourage you to sign up in advance. This is the link to get to our specific BidNet page where you can find only the solicitations that Larimer County is advertising. The address is bidnetdirect.com/Colorado/Larimer-County. I'll read that again. It's bidnetdirect.com/Colorado/Larimer-County. Next, we'll go over what to look for in any solicitation. In every solicitation, there's a lot of the same pieces, whether it's a quote, a bid, or a proposal. The first is that you need to determine when is your quote, bid, or proposal due. That information is located on page 1, and it's important that you know that late submissions are not accepted. We will not accept your quote, bid, or proposal after the due date and time. The second thing you should look for is there a pre-bid or pre-proposal meeting scheduled? That will also be on page 1. Please plan to attend any meeting that is scheduled and sign up if required. There is a cutoff for questions. We only accept questions up to a certain date and time, and that is also listed on page 1. All questions must be submitted in writing by email to the contact person that's listed on the first page of the DRFQ, of the bid, or the RFP, and late questions are not accepted. Questions received by the cutoff time and date will be answered in an addendum that is published on BidNet if it's a bid or RFP, or published at the top of the department RFQ. You also need to look to make sure that your company meets the qualifications. There are often specific qualifications that vendors must meet in order to respond to a bid or an RFP. Make sure that your company meets those. Look at the insurance requirements. Does your company's current insurance coverage meet the minimums listed? Contact your insurer before you bid to determine if your current insurance is enough or if you'll need to buy additional insurance and what that will cost you. but please do not purchase any additional lines of insurance to work with Larimer County unless you have been awarded a job with Larimer County. If your company is awarded the job, you will be given 10 calendar days from the date on the notice of award to purchase any necessary insurance and provide it to the county. Look at the scope of work. You want to read this thoroughly and early to determine if you have questions, because remember, you have to ask your questions within the question period. Regarding what to submit, the invitation to bid or request for proposal will list what is necessary to submit. Follow this closely and particularly look for the word must. For example, if the bid or RFP states that you must provide some information or a document with your bid or proposal, and you do not provide that with your bid or proposal, your response will be labeled non-responsive and rejected. How to submit. Each solicitation tells you how to submit. The department RFQ, in the body of that department RFQ, at the very bottom is where the vendor will enter their information, provide their quote, and they can attach any documents that they would like to. For bids and RFPs, which are formal solicitations, we only accept bids or proposals submitted through BidNet. We do not accept emailed, faxed, in-person, or mailed bids or proposals. Additionally, I'd like to remind you about the Colorado Open Records Act, and we are a public entity. Almost everything we have is public information. However, when you're responding to a request for proposal, we ask that you provide us with a redacted proposal. Vendors may submit a redacted copy of their proposal covering up any confidential information, and we will use that to satisfy public record requests instead of the original proposal. However, if you do not provide a redacted copy, your original proposal will be used to answer public record requests. Some important information about Larimer County: we do not maintain a vendor list. The second thing I ask is that you consider signing up for our DRFQ notification list. On that snippet on the right-hand side of the screen at the top, it says Published Department Request for Quote. You'll find that on the purchasing page. If you click on that, at the very top of the page it brings you to, there is a spot where you can sign up for the notification list. If you sign up there, you'll be notified whenever a new department RFQ is published. You also, if you look at the brown link on your screen, which is also found on the purchasing page, if you click that, it brings you to a page where the county tells you which formal solicitations are advertised right now. And there is also a notification list there, so you could choose to be notified whenever a new bid or RFP is published. However, if you want to respond to a bid or RFP, it is imperative that you sign up for BidNet in order to respond to bids or RFPs. You can also receive push emails from BidNet. They'll send you an email. The email address for the Larimer County bids and proposals on BidNet Direct is bidnetdirect.com/Colorado/Larimer-County. That is bidnetdirect.com/Colorado/Larimer-County. Here are those links again. And additionally, there is the QR code to get to the purchasing page. These are the links that were provided previously in this presentation, and I'll just wait a moment. My name is Heather Macmillan. I'm Larimer County's purchasing manager, and I appreciate you watching this presentation. If you have any questions about this, you'd like to discuss this further, please give me a call. My number is 970-498-5957. You can also email me. My email is hmacmillan@larimer.org, hmacmillan@larimer.org. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.